There are some places in this world that are so frightening that just hearing about them sends shivers down your spine. And then there are other places that are even more terrifying to experience firsthand. One such place is the abandoned asylum. Now, these derelict buildings aren't just creepy to look around. They're also said to be home to ghosts, demons, and other malevolent entities. Some say these spirits are the souls of patients who died or were murdered within the walls of the asylum. Others believe that the demons were somehow bound to the building during experiments or rituals conducted by staff members. Whatever the case may be, there's no denying that these abandoned asylums are some of the most haunted places on Earth. As you enter one of these abandoned buildings, the silence will be deafening, and the sense of dread will be overwhelming. The peeling paint and graffiti-covered walls will tell the story of neglect and decay. You can almost feel the eyes of the unseen watching your every move. Suddenly, a floorboard creaks under your foot, or a door slams shut on its own, and you coo and help but jump. Every little sound seems amplified in the stillness. Then there are the whispers, disembodied voices that seem to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. They speak in hushed tones, sometimes in recognizable voices, sometimes in a language that's not of this world. You strain to listen, trying to make out their words, but they're gone as quickly as they appeared. But it's not just the auditory hallucinations that make these places so terrifying. There are also the visual disturbances, shadows that seem to move on their own, fleeting glimpses of figures in the corner of your eye, and objects that appear to move or vanish without explanation. It feels like you're being watched, hunted even. And the feeling is so intense that you can't help but break into a run. It's desperate to escape the unseen presence that's pursuing you. As you flee through the asylum's labyrinthine halls, you can hear the heavy breathing behind you, getting closer with every step. You burst out of the building and into the daylight, gasping for breath, only to turn back and see the asylum looming behind you. Its windows like vacant eyes staring into your soul. You know in that moment that you'll never forget this experience, that the memory of it will haunt your dreams forever. Now, let us take a chilling journey through some of the most haunted asylums in the world, and uncover the terrifying true accounts of those who have dared to enter. Danvers State Hospital. This abandoned mental hospital in Massachusetts was once home to over 700 patients, but after years of neglect and mistreatment, it was finally closed in 1994. Now rumors abound of ghosts wandering the halls, and some even claim to have seen apparitions of former patients and staff members. One former employee told the tale of a ghost who would walk the halls at night, shaking the beds of patients and making regular appearances to those who worked the night shift. Another story tells of a patient who died in the hospital's boiler room and whose ghost is said to haunt the area. To make matters worse, some visitors have reported strange illnesses after touring the hospital, leading many to believe that the spirits of Danvers are not only active, but also vengeful. Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It's located in Kentucky. Waverly Hills Sanatorium was once the go-to place for tuberculosis patients, but with a 50% mortality rate, it wasn't exactly a haven for the sick. Now, reports of paranormal activity are so widespread here that the sanatorium has become one of the most popular destinations for ghost hunters. One nurse reportedly died while tending to her patients and is said to roam the halls at night, searching for her lost love. Meanwhile, the basement is rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl who was abandoned by her parents and left to die. Visitors have reported seeing apparitions, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling unexplained cold spots throughout the building. Pennhurst State School and Hospital. Pennhurst was once a state institution for the mentally ill and those with developmental disabilities, but instead of providing care, it became a place of horror where patients were subjected to inhumane treatment and even lobotomies. It's no surprise then that it was eventually shut down and left abandoned. Today it's said to be one of the most haunted places in America, with reports of shadow figures, disembodied voices, and even full-bodied apparitions. One caretaker even claimed that he saw the ghost of a young girl who had been lobotomized and left to wander the halls. Asylum at Chreek. If you want to visit one of the creepiest places on Earth, head to Belize and check out the Asylum at Chreek, built in 1911. It was originally meant to house up to 200 patients, but due to a lack of funding, the facility quickly fell into disrepair and was eventually abandoned. It's now considered one of the most haunted locations in Central America, with visitors reporting hearing screams, laughter, and disembodied voices echoing throughout the grounds. The caretaker's log even contains stories of inexplicable events that have occurred within the walls of the asylum. Danvers State Hospital. Located in the town of Chanty, Illinois, this abandoned psychiatric hospital was once home to thousands of patients. But after years of abuse and neglect, it was finally closed in 1993. Today, visitors report hearing footsteps, voices, and even seeing apparitions of former patients and staff members.
One of the most famous ghosts is that of a woman in a Victorian nightgown who is said to walk the halls at night.
She is believed to be the spirit of a patient who died in the hospital and is now haunting the place where she spent her final days alive, Wisconsin State Asylum. Situated in the small town of Madison, Wisconsin, this abandoned asylum is now a museum open to the public. But despite its historical significance, many visitors claim to have experienced strange and unsettling phenomena. One of the most famous stories comes from a former employee who claims to have seen the ghost of a young boy who died in the asylum. He's said to roam the halls at night searching for his lost mother. Other visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and even the sound of crying babies. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Located in Weston, West Virginia, this former psychiatric hospital is now known as the most haunted place in America. It's no wonder considering that over 8,000 patients died within its walls. Today, visitors report hearing screams, laughter, and even seeing apparitions of former patients and staff members. One of the most famous ghosts is that of a patient who died in the hospital's dungeon and is now said to haunt the area. Others say that the entire asylum is haunted by the spirits of those who suffered and died there. Raleigh County Memorial Hospital. Now, if you find yourself in Beckley, West Virginia, be sure to avoid this abandoned hospital at all costs. It's because it's said to be one of the most haunted places in the state. Built in 1951, the hospital was originally meant to serve the local community. But after years of neglect and budget cuts, it was finally closed in 2009. Today, visitors report seeing apparitions, hearing footsteps, and even feeling cold spots throughout the building. Some believe that the hospital is haunted by the spirits of patients who died there, while others say that the energy is simply too dark for anyone to venture inside. Eastern State Penitentiary. Located in Philadelphia, Eastern State Penitentiary was once one of the most advanced prisons in the world. But after years of overcrowding and violence, it was finally closed in 1995. Today, the prison is open to the public, but only on select dates. That's because the paranormal activity is so intense that it's simply not safe for visitors to explore the grounds at will. Reports of paranormal activity include shadows that appear to move on their own, objects that go missing and then reappear in strange places, and even disembodied voices. Many believe that the prison is haunted by the spirits of inmates who died there, while others say that the energy of the place is simply too dark for anyone to venture inside alone. Baker Mental Hospital. Located in rural Minnesota, Baker Mental Hospital was once home to hundreds of patients. But after years of scandal and abuse, it was finally closed in 1991. Today, rumors persist of a ghost who haunts the old hospital. Some say that it's the spirit of a former patient who died there and is now seeking revenge on those who come to disturb her rest. Others claim that the entire building is haunted by the spirits of those who suffered and died at Baker. Traveling to any of these places can be a truly harrowing experience, especially when you consider the tragic stories of those who died or went missing within their walls. It was important to remember that these abandoned locations were once places of great suffering, that the spirits of those who died there may still be present. While exploring these sites, it's crucial to be respectful of the history and treat the location and its potential spirits with reverence and care. Have you ever visited an abandoned asylum or mental hospital? What kind of experiences have you had? We would love to hear your stories in the comments below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for more videos and leave us a like. Thanks for watching.